All right, we talk about, not really selling with the four C's, especially in the beginning, because it is boring. I'll tell you a little story. In 1984, when I came home from gemology school, my mother, after about 2 or 3 weeks of me telling everybody everything I knew, she got me over in the corner. She goes, "Look, you need to forget all that stuff because I paid for your education and you need to make it fun because all this facts and figures you're throwing out are just not that much fun. So sell with romance, sell with style, make people feel good because people will never forget how you make them feel. They never forget that at all. But we do need to know the four C's. So I'm just going to give you some fun facts about it. We all understand that the four C's are carat weight, clarity, color, and then cut. Carat weight is basically, 1 to 100. A 5 carat diamond is 500 points. But where did the word carat come from? The word carat came from the old days. They would have the scales, like the legal scales you would see, and they would use carat beans, and they would put carat beans on one side and diamonds on the other side, and that's where they got how they weigh diamonds by carat beans, because a carat bean is extremely close to accurate of itself all the time. It doesn't vary from big to large or anything else. They would use carat beans, and therefore, in translation, it would turn to carat. So, the carat of a diamond is very important. One thing you need to know about carat is magic size. What is a magic size, you might say? Well, a magic size would be like a half carat, a 3/4 another magic size, and a 1 carat would be another magic size. Just to give you an example, let's just say that we have a 99 point diamond, and we know that 1 carat's a magic size. So a 99 point diamond should really be only 1% less than 1 carat. Wrong. It's about 25% less than 1 carat. Because what's happening is that cutter is cutting. He's trying to get to that 1 carat because he's going to lose some money if he doesn't. So he swindles the diamond. He cuts it too deep or too shallow or whatever, trying to get there, but he doesn't make it. So what you might say is, well, I want to buy one of those just under carat diamonds. So often those diamonds are not properly cut. They're way too deep, they're way too shallow because that cutter was trying to get to that 1 carat mark and therefore it did not make it. All right, clarity. It's very simple. I mean, it's just most diamonds are certified. If not, we have GIA graduates here that can. You have a flawless diamond, which is basically without any inclusions at all. And then all this is VVS, very, very slightly included, is all that means. And you have a 1 and a 2 on that. I don't know where that 3 comes from. And then on very slightly included, you would have a 1 and a 2. And then on slightly included, you would have a 1 and a 2, and then I3, 1, 2, and 3. Anything past that is what we call bort. I don't know if you ever heard that name before, but that's what they do drill bits out of. They crush those up and they impregnate those in drill bits and that. So most of the diamonds that we sell will be SI and above. This VS and SI are really popular. A good SI2 quality diamond, unless it's a black bouquet, you're not going to visually see an inclusion in it at all, especially SI1 and then above that for sure. But you get into an emerald cut diamond or anything that's step faceted, then you're going to probably need to be in the VS range because you can see directly in those type of diamonds. The color is real simple, and the color is probably the most important aspect. D to Z. D is pure white. You would think that when you got a D grade in school, it wasn't good, but D is fantastic in diamonds. As white as it can get. Z is pure yellow. And the price of the diamond goes just like this all the way down to Z. Okay. Then when it gets past Z, you get into a whole nother scale, and this is called the fancy scale. And this is fancy light, whatever the color may be. Diamonds form in every color of the rainbow, so this works with all of them. Fancy is the next grade up. Fancy intense is the next grade up, and then fancy vivid. So the difference, let's just take for yellow, for instance, on a 1 carat diamond. You might have a diamond in fancy light being $10,000. A fancy vivid might be $100,000 depending upon the color of it. So there's quite a difference, and the diamond needs to be certified in either one of these right there. What causes the color in diamond is basically nitrogen trapped with the carbon. It was what causes them to be yellow. That's why Murfreesboro here in Arkansas, they can mine them. There's plenty of diamonds there, but they're all, LMNOPQRST diamonds. They're warm diamonds and they're not a lot of value, and that's why they quit mining. There's just way too much nitrogen in that particular diamond mine. So color is really interesting. All right, cut. Cut can make a huge difference in the value of a diamond. People don't understand this, but a diamond that is perfectly cut, like I said, a round diamond loses about 50% of the original rough, thereabouts. But what a cutter can do, he can examine the rough diamond, and if the rough is way too shallow or way too deep, let's just take shallow for instance, he'll make a very small crown and a very shallow pavilion to formulate and fit into that, where we call these swindle diamonds because basically the cutter swindled them out of their original beauty, what they should be when they were here. So they can cut them way too shallow. The other thing is you could have one swindled way too deep. The rough is very deep, so they follow the very deep aspect of that, and it does the same thing. And you can always tell by the diameter. A diameter of a 1 carat diamond should be 6.5 millimeters. A diamond like this might be, 6.8, and a diamond that's way too deep might be 6.1. So we know something's wrong with those because the carat weight is exactly the same. This is an example I give it to people all the time when they want to understand this. So let's just assume I'm a diamond cutter and a diamond miner. And we have Ann and Judy, they came in, and I both sell them a 2 carat piece of rough, a rough diamond. I'm the miner, and they pay $1,000 just for the sake of talking a piece for these. So we have Ann and Judy, and they Ann tells me, she goes, well, I've always wanted a 1.5 carat diamond. I'm like, well, Ann, I can do this for you, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut the diamond way too shallow and here, because it's just the way this rough is designed. It really needs to be about a 1 carat, but I can change the design of my cutting and I can get more of the retention of the weight. So then she has a 1.5 carat diamond, Ann does, okay? And she has $1,000 into it because I told her that I was going to cut it at no charge, right? Well, Judy over here says, well, Bill, I've always wanted an ideal cut diamond. So I said, fine, I'll do that. So basically, she ends up with a 1 carat diamond, okay? And she has $1,000 into it. And I ask people all the time, I'm like, okay, which one of these two diamonds is worth more? They're worth the same. They started off the same. They're both worth $1,000 because that's what they were. The only difference is when you put this 1.5 carat on the internet, and then you put that 1 carat on the internet, and they're both the same clarity and color. I didn't say that, but they're both the same clarity and color. Anybody's going to say, oh my God, that 1.5 carat is a way better deal because it's a way bigger diamond than the 1 carat. Why is this 1 carat so overpriced and this 1.5 carat such a good deal? It's because it shouldn't have been a 1.5 carat. It should have been a 1 carat, and therefore they swindled it out of its beauty. You can definitely tell side by side, but on the internet, on paper, it looks amazing because same clarity, same color, 1.5 carat, same price as a 1 carat. How can this be true? So these are things that you really need to understand. It's very important to be able to look at a cert, okay, as ourselves, and be able to look at them and be able to look at other certs and say, okay, well, I can see why this diamond is so much cheaper. Maybe it had fluorescency like we talked about. Maybe the cut was way too deep or way too shallow. The diameter doesn't match the weight of the diamond. There's so many things that you can judge from a cert. That's all going on in your mind. You're not telling this to your customer, but you'll understand when they go buy a diamond somewhere else and bring it to you, why that diamond was cheaper than yours. Then you can explain these things to them. So if you're going to be a diamond professional, you're going to have to know this backwards and forwards. And this is what we do, and it's not that difficult, and you'll appreciate when you learn it.